Good evening. Welcome. Welcome to Evensong. My name is Beth Hoffman Faith, and I'm the Minister for Congregational Care and Worship here at Plymouth. And so happy to have Carl Jones, who's been sort of enchanting us with the piano. Grateful to have his presence here tonight too. Welcome to you who are here in this circle, and we may have some latecomers, and I trust we'll just widen the circle if we need to. And a special welcome to those who are watching, either now in this moment or in a moment yet to come. This is our first Sundays at 5 service in the chapel. We had been meeting in the sanctuary, and it has been my desire to get us into the chapel because I just think this is an extraordinary space, and it is perfect for opportunities of worship like this. Evensong is a contemplative worship experience, which means that we will pause throughout the order of worship to be silent, and however that works for you. Some people like to do that with their eyes closed and palms open. Others need a focal point because silence can sometimes be distracting even in itself. However is comfortable for you. Each silence period will be about 6 minutes. And for some of us, that might feel like it passes slowly, and for others, it zips right by. But I just invite you to sort of open your heart as you, for whatever you experience from the readings before the silence begins. So we are still in the Easter season. Easter is not just a day, it's a season, and it lasts from Easter Sunday up until the day of Pentecost, 50 days later. And so we are in Easter tide. So as I told the congregation this morning, it's perfectly appropriate to continue to wish people a happy Easter in this time, even if that feels a little strange since the day is now a couple of weeks ago. But Easter invites us to consider new life, new possibilities, and resurrection. And so in the last 10 years, myself, along with a lot of others, have developed a different understanding than perhaps when we were children of the word practice. As a child, I remember hearing over and over that practice makes perfect, but that only seemed to apply to my procrastination and preparing for my weekly piano lesson. That's why I'm not sitting at the piano tonight. Now it seems we practice just about everything. One doesn't do yoga, one practices yoga. One doesn't just eat a certain way, one practices being a vegetarian or eating paleo or vegan. One doesn't just pray, one practices centering prayer or meditation. Spiritual practices invite one to experience God in different ways, and practice implies that we aren't going to be transformed every time, but rather with repetition, the practice itself will transform us. If you spend any time around me, you'll find that I use the word practice a lot. If practice is, as Merriam-Webster defines, to perform or work at repeatedly so as to become proficient, then I think that most of what we do in our lives is some kind of practice. Rarely are we proficient at anything instantaneously. Much of life involves effort on our part. So how do we apply this understanding of practice to Easter, and specifically to resurrection? I know that the word resurrection can trouble some, confound others, embrace some, others reject it completely. And my understanding of resurrection has always been much more spiritual than literal. I approach resurrection through the gift that is Easter as a recognition of the promise of new life and that death does not have the final word. So as we move through this Easter season, seeking signs of new life and the potential of possibilities and even the capacity to change, as we were reminded in this morning's sermon, I invite you this evening to think about what it might mean to practice resurrection. So again, the flow of our service is repetitive. There's a song on your song sheet called Shepherd Me, O God. And in a moment, I'm going to have Carl play it, and then we'll sing it through twice, and that is repeated throughout our service. I'll then share a short reading, and in one instance, a poem, and then we enter into silence. And then following the silence, we repeat with the song and a reading, and then silence again. And when we have done that 3 times, we move into prayers for the community and candles of petition, as I call them. And this is a participatory time as you feel comfortable, and I'll explain that when we get there. And then we move to more music and a blessing. So I invite you to take a deep breath, to center yourself as you can on your chair, to feel grounded where you are, as we first listen to Shepherd Me, O God, and then sing through it twice.
Let me just say one thing about the music. If you are someone who reads music, there's one detail that's missing here that might be a little confusing. Over the first word, life, when it says death into life, that's what's called the first ending. And it goes for 2 measures, and then it goes back to the beginning. The second ending doesn't say life, but you say life, and it's that last measure. So it got cropped, that little bit of detail got cropped. So just so you're not thinking we're going to sing 3 measures every time, we're going to sing 2 measures or 1. But I will play it through 1 time, and then you can sing it twice.
Thank you. Shepherd me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears, from death into life. Shepherd me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears, from death into life. An excerpt from the book Practicing Resurrection. Immediately following the news of the empty tomb, the disciples initially hid away in fear. Author Nora Gallagher considers the disciples' reaction. She writes, "When I think about the resurrection now, I not only wonder about what happened to Jesus, I ponder what happened to his disciples. Something happened to them, too. They went into hiding after the crucifixion, but after the resurrection appearances, they walked back out into the world. They became braver and stronger. They visited strangers and healed the sick. It was not just what they saw when they saw Jesus or how they saw it, but what was set free in them. What if the resurrection is not about the appearances of Jesus alone, but also about what those appearances point to, what they ask? It's finally what we do with them that matters. Make them into superstitions, or use them as stepping stones to new life. Maybe resurrection, like everything else, needs to be practiced. Shepherd me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears, from death into life. Shepherd me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears, from death into life. Wendell Berry's Manifesto, the Mad Farmer Liberation Front. Love the quick profit, the annual raise, vacation with pay. Want more of everything ready-made. Be afraid to know your neighbors and to die. And you will have a window in your head. Not even your future will be a mystery anymore. Your mind will be punched in a card and shut away in a little drawer. When they want you to buy something, they will call you. When they want you to die for profit, they will let you know. So friends, every day do something that won't compute. Love the Lord. Love the world. Work for nothing. Take all that you have and be poor. Love someone who does not deserve it. Denounce the government and embrace the flag. Hope to live in that free republic for which it stands. Give your approval to all you cannot understand. Praise ignorance for what man has not encountered, he has not destroyed. Ask the questions that have no answers. Invest in the millennium. Plant sequoias. Say that your main crop is the forest that you did not plant, that you will not live to harvest. Say that the leaves are harvested when they have rotted into the mold. Call that prophet. Prophecy such returns. Put your faith in the 2 inches of humus that will build under the trees every 1,000 years. Listen to carrion. Put your ear close and hear the faint chattering of the songs that are to come. Expect the end of the world. Laugh. Laughter is immeasurable. Be joyful, though you have considered all the facts. So long as women do not go cheap for power, please women more than men. Ask yourself, will this satisfy a woman satisfied to bear a child? Will this disturb the sleep of a woman near to giving birth? Go with your love to the fields. Lie easy in the shade. Rest your head in her lap. Swear allegiance to what is nighest your thoughts. As soon as the generals and the politicos can predict the motions of your mind, lose it. Leave it as a sign to mark the false trail, the way you didn't go. Be like the fox who makes more tracks than necessary, some in the wrong direction. Practice resurrection. Shepherd me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears, from death into life. Shepherd me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears, from death into life. Megan McKenna shares the following story. Once in a parish mission, when I was studying scripture with a large group, someone called out harshly, "Have you ever brought someone back from the dead?" I had been saying that life happens when we are interrupted, and that some of the most powerful acts of resurrection happen to the least likely people. That we are the people of resurrection and hope, called to live passionately and compassionately with others, to defy death, to forgive, and to bring others back into the community, to do something that is life-giving, that fights death and needless suffering. And then this challenge from the back of the church. My response was, yes. I went on to say, every time I bring hope into a situation, every time I bring joy that shatters despair, every time I forgive others and give them back dignity and the possibility of a future with me and others in the community, every time I listen to others and affirm them and their life, every time I speak the truth in public, every time I confront injustice, yes, I bring people back from the dead. Shepherd me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears, from death into life. Shepherd me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears, from death into life. I invite you now into a time of prayer. And if you'd like to come and light a candle for whatever fills your heart this day. Might be someone that you're thinking of, something personal to you, a situation in the world, something you intend or have intention about after being in this time together. If you want to speak the prayer that you are lighting a candle for, you're most welcome to do that. I also know that sometimes that's difficult to do, and so lighting a candle is absolutely enough. And this is an invitation to participate only if that feels like something you need in this time. My candle is lit in honor of my brother-in-law, Jeff, who on Wednesday had surgery to repair an aortic root aneurysm, and his recovery has been difficult and painful, and he's had a bit of a setback today, so my prayer is for healing for him, full and complete healing, and also care and concern for my sister, Pam, who is his primary support. That God might enter into their midst and that healing would occur.
Light my candle in recognition for so many of us and many more who are seeking a sense of peace and renewal and transformation. And perhaps we may find moments of peace in the maternal embrace of the divine.
My prayer is that we would all learn how to disagree kindly, to be open to differing opinions in a way that's loving and open-hearted and just kind and loving.
My prayer is for healing for our daughter Maureen and her whole family, who, after 2 years of being super careful, came down with COVID this week, and that they get to the other side of this quickly. And for my great niece Hannah, who's a 9-year-old girl out in in Providence, Rhode Island, who is going to be having surgery on Wednesday to repair a heart defect. It's open heart surgery, and I pray for the skill of all the surgeons at Boston Children's.
Thank you for sharing this time with me and with Carl. As you go from this place, you are welcome to stay as long as you need or like. I know Carl will play another song as we take our leave. If you'd like to light a candle on your way out and hold your intention close, I welcome that too. I pray blessings on those who are watching and who aren't with us, and hope that you have a candle that you might light nearby too. So I offer you this blessing as you go forth considering what it means to practice resurrection. New seed is faithful, its roots deepest in the places that are most empty. New seed is faithful, its roots deepest in the places that are most empty. Amen.